Hi, I'm Paul Feiner. I'm the Greenburgh Town Supervisor, and we have a very interesting show. One of the reasons why Greenburgh is such a great place to live and work in is because of our volunteers. And one of the major volunteer organizations in Greenburgh and around the world is the Rotary clubs. And today we have two exceptional leaders of Rotary, Martin Schulman, who was the former district governor in 2022 and 2023 of Rotary, a Rotary club that covers New York City areas, Westchester and Bermuda. And also we have as a guest Syed Ali Rahi, who's a resident of Elmsford. He's been very, very active in the volunteer fire departments in the local community, and he also is a district, he's a current district governor. And first of all, I'd like to congratulate both of you on your service. And maybe you could start by just telling us a little bit about Rotary. What is it about Rotary?
Rotary International, first of all, you have, my name is Syed Ali Rahi, and I am the district governor for Rotary District 7 to 30. Our district mainly is covered is Staten Island, Manhattan, Westchester County, and Bermuda, or Bronx also. Rotary International is a international organization which is has like a covered 1.4 million members all over the world. District 7 to 30 has also 55 clubs, which is, like I said, this area is covered. Basically here in Greenburgh, where we're sitting now in your supervision, we have almost 7 clubs. We have Rotary Club of Elmsford, Rotary Club of Westchester, Rotary Club of Harsdale and Greenburgh, White Plains, and Scarsdale.
Rivertown.
And
Rivertown.
Rivertown. So these local communities, those Rotarians meet weekly or bi-weekly, and they do the project. Each club actually do many projects, but 2 projects they must do. One for the local community, and other one for international. And more information around the world, I will prefer my Vice Governor, Marty Schulman. He also can give the highlights.
Yeah, I was going to ask, Marty, if you could tell us a little bit about the responsibilities of being a governor.
Sure.
And why it's such an honor.
Well, the Rotary organization started in 1905 in Chicago. A group of 5 businessmen decided that their passion was public service, and their first project was a public toilet on the street, and that was sustainable. And it's evolved, and as a governor, you're the only area representative of your international organization that actually works for Rotary. We're a grassroots organization, which means our members are the most important people in our club. And as you heard from District Governor Syed, we have 7 clubs in the town of Greenburgh, which is a very, very important part of Westchester County, and it represents quite a few different faces. Each of these 7 clubs represent the face of their small area or community, which blend together to do projects for Greenburgh and also internationally. So projects on fostering peace, education, maternal and child health care, the environment. There are 7 areas that we focus on. What's important as the governor is to bring the message of Rotary International to each individual club, to be both inspirational and be effective in delivering training and leadership training for our future leaders. So we build our future leaders from membership in our clubs and also our Rotaract clubs, which represent the demographic of 18 to 35. And we also have Interact clubs in the high schools that train youngsters on public service, both local community and international each year.
That is great. If somebody wants to join a Rotary club, what are the requirements of being a Rotarian?
Rotary club, all the Rotary club actually looking for the members. And membership is very easy. what actually the procedure is, whoever want to join the Rotary Club, he can contact the local club. And local club, we offer 3 sitting or 3 meeting, he can come. And mostly the club right now here is meeting, they're meeting on a lunch meeting they have, or they have a dinner meeting. So about 3 meeting he can attend.
And the meetings are each week?
Yeah, some of them each week or bi-weekly, but mostly the people meet every week.
And is there a requirement that you have to attend the meetings?
No, it used to be. Our clubs have become more flexible with the times. Frequently, a club will hold a meeting at a service project or have a social gathering, because a major component of this is that you're among like-minded friends who have a passion for service. It's not all work. Sometimes we want to get together and have fun together, like a picnic or a dance, or just simply, friendship meeting, fellowship, to get together to find out more about each other.
That is good. Could you tell us a little bit about some of the projects that you're working on?
Yes, project, like I said, the local project, mostly the people actually do, they create the project, for example, clean water. Clean water actually is very necessary. And then after, in this our local community, the people have sometime they need food, shelter, all those kind of things that participate with a local, more community, the one involved, we participate with them. Then also we look for education. Education is illiteracy, is so many communities, the people actually from the third world, whatever, they need the help. So we actually connected with the libraries and we find out how we can help them out. And then a small group we take in, we promote it with our skills, and also we find some skilled people that can help them out.
That's great. Marty, when you were governor, what was one of the most interesting projects that you worked on?
Oh, quite a few. I think a mangrove restoration project, which was truly in the area of environmental sustainability, was the most interesting one I did in the year as being governor. But I really want to expand to my 40 years of being a Rotarian and a member of the Bronxville Rotary Club. Because back then, what was new on the Rotary plate was the conquering and the elimination of polio. Many of the young people that will be seeing this, those in our own family, don't understand what that means. But in my generation, quite a few people were incapacitated by polio or worse. This began as a Rotary project in the early 1980s, and we soon involved the World Health Organization, the Global Health Initiative, and ultimately the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which matches our funds. We are this close worldwide to eliminating the wild polio virus on the planet.
That's amazing.
Watch us next, because we've ramped up the infrastructure to deliver vaccines into people all around the world. We're going to be asked, and this is a bit of a news leak on your program, we're going to be asked in the United States for Rotarians to participate on the ground delivering hepatitis vaccines.
That's great. I remember years ago the Rotary clubs. I think this this district focused on the Gift of Life programs. Could you tell us about that? Because that was sort of amazing.
If I may, Gift of Life began in a Rotary Club in Long Island. Typically, a child who had a heart condition, whatever it be, a hole in the heart or leaky valve, was flown into New York. The Rotary clubs paid for the transportation and the housing for the child and a guardian, and part of the surgery was donated, and part of it was paid for by the Rotary clubs. The patient was housed until able to go home. And during that period of time, you really got to see from the family perspective what kind of a life-changing event that was. Now, the last grant in this district from the Elmsford Club happened in my year, and it was for 55 Lebanese children to have heart surgery.
Oh, wow.
But being done there rather than here.
I remember also maybe 5-6 years ago there was wasn't there like some two children who were who had to be separated. Do you remember that? There was an operation or something. And
I think involved?
I remember that.
This is actually the thing we happened to be in Pakistan. What happened to twin girls actually born, and they have join faces.
Right.
And this is the way actually Rook initiated and they separated. Then after the one child actually have full nose and full face, the other one does not. So Rotary in Pakistan, because what actually this become like a global program. So we connected with their Rotary Club and we said, so that's actually we did the surgery and girls actually finally came back in the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
Living the faith.
Do you have any goals during your administration?
Yes, I do. The first thing is a very important thing is increasing the membership, because Rotary is a volunteer organization. The members comes and member goes. And voluntary is the Rotary is also a very unique thing, is a helping hand. The people come, they pay their dues, and they become a volunteer. It's not like a volunteer coming just for time. They also has to pitch. First of all, they have to pay their the annual dues. Plus, every time we have any kind of project or any kind of they actually participate and donate it. Second thing I'm looking for as my district governor here, I wanted to unite all the clubs, and I would like to have the peace protection. Providing, because many places when we see the community, many other small groups, the one they're doing a very unique job, but they are not recognized. I'm going to bring into my Rotary, and going to do the best whatever I could be.
That is, that is great. Another question that I was just thinking of is, going to Rotary meetings every week could be a little expensive because you have to pay for the lunch or you pay for the dinner, and then they usually have like happy notes which cost more. So if somebody is not that wealthy, but they want to do, why would somebody like that want to join, say, a club?
It's a question of your passion. If your passion is for service, you'll find the money. I would say each club operates independently. So we have clubs that do ask the members to pay for meals and as part of their meeting. We also have clubs that make meals a flexible choice or an option. And so,
that's great.
Yeah, and this type of flexibility has really been around since 2016, before the pandemic. But because we're a flexible organization, we actually grew our district during the pandemic when the rest of the world shut down. We saw the need for the people, and the first boots on the ground when it came to pandemic relief were our Rotaractors, who seemed to be fearless. They made masks and PPE, which we donated to the volunteer fire groups and to the ambulances. And we also had a 1 million mask challenge out of a Rotary Club in Connecticut, where we distributed masks all over the New York area, and were seen on television keeping the businesses open in certain areas like Chinatown.
And it's also like a great opportunity for people to network. So if you're starting your careers, this is a chance where you could get involved and get to know people, make connections, but at the same time, like indirectly help your business because you're involved in the community, and then people say, oh, I know this guy from Rotary, I'm going to use a doctor, or I'm going to use,
You sort of have a built-in integrity level. And I didn't answer your question about the money. I just wanted to add something. We recognize the fact that in certain cases we need to make adjustments for people and to do it in a very way that's very respectful. So, for example, our district offers any new member a $250 grant in their first year of membership to get them engaged in doing something locally. Maybe it's restocking a kitchen at a preschool, or new books for a nursery school. Something small that the club can match and get bigger, but gets them involved. But moreover, our district dues, which are independent of the international dues, are reduced by 50% for any member who joins that hasn't reached the age of 40. And until they reach the age of 40, they enjoy this reduced dues.
Right. One of the nice things about Rotary also is that if you could fulfill your meeting requirements by going anywhere in the world. So if you're traveling, it could be Pakistan, it could be India, it could be London, it could be China. you could go to a Rotary Club meeting and be treated almost like a VIP by other Rotarians around the world, because they may show you the community, they may take you on tours. And is that a benefit?
Yes, this is actually the good thing. Actually, this is a very good way. Actually, I can explain you because I travel a lot, and also we have our convention. I just attend the convention in Singapore. When you go to Singapore, you see almost like 100,000, sometimes more Rotarian coming all over the world, and we get friendship because we have 560 districts, which is only one. So we meet each other, we get fellowship. Then after you have opportunity. So whenever we go, we Google it and we find how many clubs in this area have where I'm staying. And then I send the email and they invited us. And whenever you see this pin, the one we wearing,
Right.
you're Rotarian. And we all have a very good network. Now I'm going to get back to the question you asked me before about meeting with the professional. We also have Rotary mean business. So this is the way people come, they meet as a group, and they exchange their card. And this actually in White Plains, they started by one of the Rotarian. Rotary mean business means they meet all the professionals so that they can increase their businesses. Also, they have a good network. So this is a very unique way.
That is, that is really, fantastic. A number of years ago, one of the Rotary clubs, the Elmsford Rotary Club, made me a Paul Harris fellow.
Yes.
Could you tell me a little bit about Paul Harris and why this is a prestigious honor?
Paul Harris was the founder of, an attorney in Chicago, was the founder of Rotary along with 5 of his cohort. It represents the achievement in our foundation of 2 things, either a donation, a significant donation, or a recognition of someone's dedication to service in their community where the club makes the donation on their behalf. So being a Paul Harris Fellow or a member of the Paul Harris Society shows that you're committed to a foundation that does all of the work, because what we do in Rotary takes money. A single club really can't do major projects, but together we do sustainable projects around the world through our foundation and through grants. So the Paul Harris recognition contribution to the foundation comes back to this district 3 years after it's invested at roughly 50% for use for local projects.
Oh, wow.
It's unique to a foundation, and we all get great foundation requests from whatever organization. Due diligence, we send them a check. 9 months later, they say, by the way, we need your help again. The Rotary Foundation thanks you, but also sends half the money back for you to use locally, which is very, very unique.
That's great. The Rotary, Club also helped out with their after 9/11. Your district helped out with the 9/11 wall, and one side was a mural with over 1,000 pieces of murals highlighting people's impressions after 9/11. The other side was the 9/11 was a wall dedicated to Rotarians. So those are the types of projects that you're working on. As a district governor, does the district basically have any influence in terms of the local projects, or do people have to get permission from the district, to
Project for the local clubs, many of them, they have already project, they continue and repeat it. And some kind of project like you just mentioned, I'm a first responder, and I'm a very deep volunteer as a fireman and auxiliary police officer. And I do respect, because when the 9/11 occurred and after that, we actually supported a lot for first responder. And the wall actually, there's a wet field wall. Yes, I see that one, the one we have Rotary dedication, we do the project about, and this is also sometimes the project the Rotary Club is doing has to be sustainable, has to be continuous using for the public. So sometimes a project done by one of the clubs and it cannot be taken over for sustainable. The other clubs they join and continue and helping them.
Great. You've been so involved in the community. and you're a real asset to the town of Greenburgh and the Elmsford neighborhood. Could you tell us a little bit about your background? What you've done.
Yes, actually, I was born in Pakistan, and I came here very young age here. I educated myself. I'm from City College, Manhattan. I'm an electrical engineer. I run my own business, Westchester Electric. And my wife and we have 5 daughters. They all born and raised here in Greenburgh. I'm very local. I joined fire department, become a step by step, become a chief and past chief, then also auxiliary police officer. My daughters right now serving in a community, they are volunteer. And beside this thing, voluntary thing is not actually coming from the background, it's coming from inside of the person. When you see the people, my neighbor, I wanted to mention his name. He's a very dedicated person. I think you know Kevin Morgan.
Right.
And he's the one actually starting, and he was a very great Rotarian. Amsterdam Club is an excellent activity is the one they are doing. And you remember us all the time coming. So this is the way, one example after the other example, that's where you get involved in volunteering.
Right, and once so many people who volunteer, they volunteer in a lot of different causes. The type of person who joins Rotary is probably somebody who's more involved. What about you, Marty? Have you been involved in your communities?
Yes, I was born and raised in the Bronx, modest family, went to school in New York, attended the Cooper Union City University, and I'm a ophthalmic dispenser, a businessman, an optician. I operate 4 locations in around Westchester and Greenwich. I've been doing that for 40 years. Within the community of Bronxville where I worked, I was invited into Rotary, and I became an active Rotarian and president of the club after 7 years. But during that period of time, I also volunteered for the Family and Community Services, which is now part of the Andrus community, and also for the Maxwell Institute, which is a substance abuse program that's part of St. Vincent's Behavioral Health, and served on the boards of both of those organizations consecutively for 7 years, and as president for 2 years on each one. So it's kind of thing where once you're in your community, and I was, in my shop as a local optician, people get to know you. One of the judges in the community came in and said, I'd like you to serve on this board. And my advice is, when a judge asks you to do something, say yes, because the next time you're before him, you wouldn't want to have said no. So having done that, though, it was a real enrichment of my own life within my community. And I was able to raise 5 children in the community of Eastchester. Went through the schools, they're all healthy and successful, so no regrets on being part of the ethics of my parents and what they taught me.
When I attended your inauguration as governor a couple weeks ago, I was very impressed how diverse the Rotary clubs are. Yes. It really is almost like a mini United Nations. And is that something that is new, or has the Rotary clubs always led by example in terms of inclusivity and being more welcome?
Paul Harris said in the early 1930s that we are not a religious organization nor a political organization, and we will be measured our success by what we accomplish. Maya Angelou said, people will remember not what you did, but how you made them feel. So we make it a point. We have a very robust diversity, equity, and inclusion statement within our district, as well as an ethics and conflicts resolution statement that we abide by that parallels the international statements as well. As a result, we look for people who want to do what they can do, and we don't look for people by filling gender or filling race inequities.
Do people sometimes talk politics at these meetings?
Yes, in my, politics is started in every single place, whenever you talk something. But like Marty said, Rotary does not have any politics and does not actually recognize any religion. We all welcome. And this is the unique thing about the Rotary.
So if say this area is a pretty democratic area, but there's somebody who's a Republican, they'll feel comfortable being a member of the Rotarian club, and they won't be Rotary clubs, and they won't be like ostracized or whatever.
It's the cardinal rule unsaid is that you check your ego at the door. Okay, and if you follow that rule, then you're there as friends. Not to say we're human beings. There have been people who have populated a club of one particular stripe, and then when they were out of power, that club suffered a loss of membership. We try to avoid that by asking people to do that, simply not come in with any agenda other than to serve.
Is there a website and maybe more information about how people could join local Rotary clubs?
Yes, there is a website. There is a District 7 to 30 www. If you can go to district, also I'm going to leave
Rotary7230.org.
7230.org. And also, anytime anybody interested, please Google it. Just have myrotary.org, and you will have all the information. And not only the information, you can find where the club nearby you.
That is great.
And the person information.
And do you recommend that if, say, somebody lives in Westchester and they really are starting a business, do you recommend that they pick, say, like a larger Rotary club? How do you know which Rotary club is good for you? But you could also go every week to another Rotary club. Are there some people who just hop around every week, or do most people basically want to stay pretty much with the same group?
So our membership process involves some district people who will help engage new members. So if a name comes to us through a lead, our membership team will work with them to try and find a club where they're compatible. An individual can go on individual Rotary Club websites. For example, the Westchester Rotary or the Bronxville Rotary each have websites, and you can see what the club has been doing. Some clubs are more robust. Some clubs may seem unworthy to you.
Right.
You make your choice. You then want to make a connection because you need to be invited. And once you're invited, you're asked to come to sit and see if it fits. One of our new members turned out in Bronxville to be a former exchange student who went to Tasmania, and now 10 years later she joined. She's a professor at Monroe College, Emil Slowey, and brilliant, a Toastmaster as well as a Rotarian. But no one asked her to join. So we really do need to know that you're interested, and then we will work with you both from the district and the club level to show you around to clubs till you find a fit.
Well, I remember, I think it was maybe maybe a month ago, I went to an event sponsored by the White Plains Rotarians to raise funds for the Ukrainian community.
Yeah.
So
it's a passionate project as well as the Briarcliff Manor Club, same type of project. And oftentimes clubs will collaborate. As an example, and I'll be brief, the cleanup of the Bronx River Corridor is an ongoing project of the Bronxville, Eastchester, and Scarsdale Rotary Clubs. We will have similar projects going on within Greenburgh.
that is great. You also were ambassador for empowering women and girls. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. It was an initiative from the president of Rotary 3 years ago to be a worldwide initiative to create projects that supported girls and women and children where they are underserved. Clearly, there's a need, and we've done many, many things. Too much that I can explain here.
Oh, wow.
I also wanted to take this a little bit further and look inward at our organization and build clubs that have stronger women in leadership. We're pleased to have our second female president of Rotary this year in the International, the first being 2 years ago.
It's really, I'm so thrilled that
Thank you.
we have people in the community like both of you who are really trying very hard to make the world a better place. And I think the Rotary clubs do make the world a better place, for individuals in need and also for many others. You do a lot of great work, and thank you very, very much for everything.
I'm George.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much for having us.
Great, we're running out of time. I'm Paul Feiner, Greenburgh Town Supervisor.